What is going on, everyone? My name is Under the Radar, and welcome back to the PPL Team Builders. I'm so happy to be doing this again. Had a nice vacation, and I'm back, and I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to kick some butt in the PPL. This week, it is the most important week of the entire season. This week matters more than anything. If I win this, I still have a shot at the title. If I lose this, my chances are practically gone, and that's huge. So I need to win this game. But who do I need to beat? Oh, I only have to beat the guy who's undefeated so far. We are facing Sam, aka FooFooToo, and the Newcastle United this week. But before I go into all of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the league table, because I haven't taken a look at the league table like at all this season for a couple different reasons. Don't really think that's that big of a deal, because if you see the records, you can kind of assume more people are. However, I kind of wanted to take a really good look as to why this is so important. After this week, there's only 4 weeks left in the PPL. And as you can see, looking at the table, Sam is 6-0. I'm 6-1. Wait, hold on. This wasn't updated. That's a little upsetting. Wait, hold on. What? No, I'm sorry. He's 6-0. I'm 5-1. I'm dumb. Looking at the wrong column. Forgive me for being stupid. So, the person behind me is 4-2 at Necro, and then 4-2 for Mono. Now, those Necro and Mono play this week. They have actually already played. They have already uploaded their stuff. Go watch that so you can see who's on my tail, who is not. And then right below them are 3 teams of 3-3 with George, Sly, and Shoddy. And then after that, it kind of goes into 3 teams of 2-4 with Paul, which is surprising as shit, Alex, and Jack. And then at the very bottom are, unfortunately, Shroom and Liam. So why is this game important? First off, if I win and Liam and Shroom lose, I'm guaranteed to stay out of the relegation zones, and the lowest I can get are the playoff matches. That is the lowest possible place I can get. Along with that, if I lose this game and Sam wins, I am then 2 games behind Sam. That then requires me to win out and Sam to only win half of his remaining games. That's going to be very difficult. Granted, he does have a very hard schedule after me. It's still going to be very difficult because he is a fantastic player. So, if I can win this, we will then be tied. I will be above him on differential. Hopefully, unless it's like a 1-0, he will still be above me, but at least we'll be just to differential. Then it comes down to how much I can win the rest of the season, and if I can at least just keep up with him. That is huge. So, if I lose this game, I'm essentially out of running for the title, unless he just chokes the last 4 games of the season, and I still play pretty well. So I need to make sure I win this game, and I need to make sure that I beat him, and I beat him bad. While we're at it, why don't we go and take a good look at the Golden Pokeball Award. We don't really have anything too high up there. We just have Mega Scizor, 7-2 at 5th place. Salamence is up at the very top, which is really cool to see. I love Salamence. It's nice to see it up there, but we don't really have a whole lot in the top 10. I don't even think we have anything I don't even think we have anything in the top 20, do we? Nope. Our next mon is Kingdra at 29, so that kind of sort of sucks. But you know what? It's cool to see Salamence up top. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop right into Sam's team, because his team, in my opinion, is not that good. I think a lot of his success has been based off of how good Sam is as a battler. Why? Because Sam is just a lord, and he's so good at the game. He doesn't even need an amazing team to be fantastic at the game. Anyway, Sam's team is Starmie, Sylveon, Roserade, Mandibuzz, Talonflame, Mega Aggron, Haxorus, Golurk, and Lantern. He only has 9 Mons, yet he's still undefeated. It is something to point out that all of his, well, I don't want to say all, the majority of his wins have been largely decided due to some sort of game-changing hacks. That means he hasn't steamrolled all of his opponents. That means it's very possible for me to just come in and win. And that's really important. Another thing to note, he has brought Starmie, Sylveon, and Mega Aggron to every single game, if I'm not mistaken. From what I remember. If he hasn't, he's brought Sylveon to like 5 games, and he's brought Talonflame to like 5 games. From what I remember, can't remember off the top of my head. And if I'm not mistaken, he has also brought Lantern to every single game. Now, that's not saying a whole lot because he only has 9 Mons. 3 Mons have to sit the bench. Realistically, Mandibuzz is going to sit the bench most of the time because Starmie is just a better hazard removal and is weak to rocks. And why would he want Talonflame and Mandibuzz? It's just too much, too weak. Haxorus, he hasn't had a whole lot of success with, so he might not feel too comfortable with it. So that only leaves 7 Mons, and that I really am super scared of. I'm still scared of Haxorus, but it's still like on the back burner, and it's not like the biggest threat to my team because I have a lot of things that can stop it. So that mainly leaves Starmie, Sylveon, Roserade, Talonflame, Mega Aggron, Golurk, Lantern. Those 7 Mons, and then Haxorus as like a thought to keep in mind for this game. Now, with my new transfer of dropping Raikou and Togetic for Zoroark and Electivire, this also puts a massive pressure on his team. Starmie can now be Pursuit Trapped, Sucker Punched, and Stab Knockoff. Puts a lot of threat onto it. Sylveon, if I get set up with a Nasty Plot, I now have Sludge Bomb. Can really hurt that. Roserade can't take a knockoff. I have Low Kick for Mega Aggron before it Mega Evolves. It completely decimates all of its life. Afterwards, it only does like 30%, but that's still a good amount of damage. Golurk cannot take a knockoff. Lantern takes a metric shit ton from a knockoff. Zoroark puts a lot of pressure on his team. That's pretty cool. Electivire also puts a lot of pressure on his team. He only has one electric immunity and Golurk, and then he has a Lantern, which can be an electric immunity. However, I have a Rain team. He's going to be bringing Water Absorb. 110% going to be bringing Water Absorb. Just for the likes of Kingdra, I think he's going to be bringing Spadef AV. I think that's his best bet to try to take on my Rain team. So, with that being said, if he doesn't bring Golurk, free Volt Switches all over the place. So he'll keep that in mind in team building, and he'll try to bring something that can still somewhat stop it from coming in and getting off a lot of damage every single time. Another look at his team to notice what really puts a lot of pressure on his team. Nidoking. His switch-ins to Nidoking are his hopes and dreams. That's it. So, if I can bring the right set of Nidoking, get it in at the right time, I get a kill. Literally every single time. It 2-hit KOs every single form of his walls, even with berries, it 2-hit KOs them. And it OHKOs all of his offensive threats. So if I'm in against one of his walls, doesn't have a berry, doesn't want to lose it yet, he has to either sack off one of his other walls or sack off an offensive threat. Every single time it gets in for free. So that's always something to keep in mind. To my team, however, really big threats, Starmie. Biggest threat to my entire team. I have no switch-ins. I don't have switch-ins in general on this team, but Starmie is something that I particularly have no switch-ins to. Sylveon is kind of a big threat depending on if it's Calm Mind or if it's Specs. If it's Calm Mind, I'm going to poop myself a little bit, and then I'm going to try to continue on with the game. Talonflame, surprisingly, not a threat with the team I built. You'll see in a little bit. Mainly Starmie and Roserade. Those are the two biggest threats to my team, so I really prepped a lot for both of those, and I tried to make sure that I can kill them at any given moment. But his walls, I'm not super scared of, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the team that I'm bringing, because I'm bringing a really fun team. First mod I'm bringing my favorite Politoed set. Choice Specs Politoed with the Drizzle ability, Hydro Pump, Hidden Power, Grass, Ice Beam, and Scald. I really want to change Scald to Focus Blast, however, I cannot afford it. If I run out of Hydro Pumps, if I miss 5 of them, if he switches around all the time and I just miss every single one of them, I still want to have Choice Specs Scald to be very ow in the rain. So, remember how I said he has to be Water Absorbed? Let's say he's not. This decimates all over his life. Say he doesn't bring Lantern at all. This destroys everything on his team. Completely OHKOs Mega Aggron. Completely OHKOs it. After rocks, I think it does like 93% minimum. So it does a shit ton of damage. To Sylveon, it's an easy 2-hit KO. It's like 75% minimum. To Roserade, easy 2-hit KO with Hydro Pump. Ice Beam completely OHKOs it. Talonflame is OHKO'd by Scald. And the biggest thing is if I know that his switch into this thing is going to be his Lantern, I have Hidden Power Grass, which does about 35% if he's not Spadef AV, so anything other than that, I can get off a good amount of damage. I really want to make this thing my lead. Reason being, instantly I know how often I can spam Hydro Pump, what I need to do to predict with Hidden Power Grass. I also know if I can predict switch in with Ice Beam. Also, if I lead off with this and he leads off with his Mega Aggron, knowing he can take a Scald in the rain, doesn't really care about getting burnt, has like Aromatherapy or something, or Heal Bell on something, I can kill it. Turn 1 with a Hydro Pump before he even gets up his rocks, and that will be ginormous. If I'm able to get this thing in on something for free, like after a U-turn or a Volt Switch or something, I pretty much get a kill as long as he doesn't have Lantern around. Lantern is going to be a massive problem for this thing. However, Lantern really struggles against the team that I'm bringing. So, since I have a lot of his walls easily 2-hit KO'd by this thing, aside from the Lantern, I kind of wanted to start looking at other things that I needed to check. First thing I was going to be bringing was Talonflame. Talonflame is something that he is very good with using. He used it last season exquisitely, and I fully expect him to bring it this week, so I'm bringing my version of a Talonflame counter. I'm bringing Kabutops. How is this a Talonflame counter, Kelly? Well, I'm glad you asked. With a Rindo Berry, 76 in HP, 252 defense, Impish Nature, 180 in speed, Rock Slide, Rapid Spin, Aqua Jet, and Knockoff. So, this beats every set of Talonflame that there is. Every single one of them. Aside from Bulk Up that is already set up. Beats every single one of them. SD Natural Gift. I can live in a +2 Natural Gift Grass because of the Rindo Berry. SD with Brave Bird, Roost, and Will-O-Wisp. Burnt. Rock Slide does, I believe, 70% to uninvested Talonflame. Roosted Talonflame, it does about 50 some odd percent, so even if he wants to try to roost up on me, I'll beat it 1v1. Aqua Jet is there because, get this, let's say he's banded, and he just kills my Politoed after I set up the rain. I'm able to come in with my Kabutops. I have enough speed to outspeed Talonflame in the rain, so that means my Aqua Jet out-prioritizes his Brave Bird. Aqua Jet in the rain does about 40% to Talonflame. If he's going on a rampage, I have a way of killing him. I outspeed, and I can kill him with Aqua Jet. Knockoff is there specifically because if he wants to try to switch in his Starmie in on this thing, like say he's a bulk, like defensive bulky Starmie, I can hit it with a knockoff, do a lot of damage to it, and kind of sort of force it to either recover, spin, or do something else. But this thing is pretty much my Talonflame counter. I can switch into it pretty much all day long, not really worry about it, and because he takes 50% to rocks, once it's in and it takes rocks damage, it's not going to want to switch back out. Really like this mon. I'm really happy with this set. If you guys don't remember, I actually did a very similar strategy in the PGL, I guess, the Talonflame with an Omastar, so that's what this thing is for. The next mon that I'm bringing is my Zoroark. I'm so happy to be using Zoroark. I don't think you guys understand. Zoroark is my favorite mon. It is so much fun to use. I'm bringing a Black Glasses Zoroark because, as I said before, Nidoking does a lot to his team. If I'm running Life Orb on that, I do not want to reveal Life Orb on this thing if it is disguised as Nidoking, and I don't want to take Life Orb damage if I'm like a Mega Scizor and I go for a U-turn or something like that. Very silly. I needed to have an item that would still boost my knockoff and my Sucker Punch without revealing it. I'm running 196 in speed, 252 in attack, 60 in HP. I believe this is just for Jolly Haxorus, pretty sure. Simply, this thing is there to get off the damage that I need on Lantern. Lantern is a massive threat for this team. His water types in general are a massive threat for this team, so I needed to have a way of getting off a massive amount of damage on them. Zoroark is the easiest way to do it. Also, if he's bringing like a choice specs Starmie, and say I bring in this thing disguised as Nidoking, he knows he can live a Sucker Punch from a Nidoking. Spoiler alert, he can't live a Sucker Punch from a Zoroark, so I can kill it with a Sucker Punch and have Starmie taken out of the equation right away, and it's amazing. As long as Starmie is around, I need to save my Zoroark. No question about it, I need to save this thing. If he wants to try to stall me out of Sucker Punches, I will click all 8 of them right in a row, waiting for him to do something else. So this thing is just really cool. I like it a lot. Knockoff does about 85% to Roserade if he's completely uninvested in HP, which I think he'll have to have a little bit in HP because of Nidoking. However, I fully expect him to be able to live a knockoff after Stealth Rocks, so that's why I have U-Turn on there. U-Turn does about 30%, instantly putting it in range of the next knockoff whenever I come in. And against this thing, if he's a Lord, he will click Hidden Power Fire, but unless he's a Lord, I can go into my Mega Scizor or something else to resist both of its stabs, and I can get off more damage on it, force him out, take more rocks damage, things of that nature. So Zoroark is so much fun. I love Zoroark. Zoroark is so cool. I absolutely love this mod. Anyway, next mod on the team is going to be my Mega Scizor. With Bullet Punch, U-Turn, Defog, and Roost, I have 2 forms of hazard removal this week. Why? Sam likes hazard stack. I know this. You play the opponent, not the game. Simple as that. 220 HP, 236 into defense, 52 in speed. This 52 in speed means that he has to run a like metric shit ton of speed into his Lantern in order to outspeed Scizor after it has Mega Evolved. So I can always get off a free, well, not free, a good solid U-turn on it, get off some really good damage, go into something to take the hit, and deal with it that way. Bullet Punch is there specifically so I can deal with Haxorus if it has set up on me. Sylveon, if it's like Calm Mind Sylveon, I still have Bullet Punch, which can do a lot to it. And in the rain, he has to be up to +2, I believe, for Hidden Power Fire to OHKO me, so 2 Bullet Punches will kill it, and I can deal with it that way. Roost is there for longevity. Every single time this thing comes in, I fully expect Mega Aggron to come in, and I fully expect Mega Aggron to have Fire Punch. So if I can Roost up expecting that, I can U-turn the next turn, go into Politoed. If he doesn't have Lantern, click Hydro Pump, get a kill. So that's going to be like the vicious cycle. I'm going to try to lure in Mega Aggron every single time, pray to Jesus that he does not have Lantern, and get a kill with Politoed every single time. At least that's what I'm hoping happens. I'm really hoping that happens. If I don't see Lantern, I'm going to be so happy, but unfortunately I think I'm going to see Lantern. But yeah, this thing's just standard. It's mainly there for Haxorus because SD or Dragon Dance Haxorus is a pretty big threat to my team, and I didn't want to rely solely on Sucker Punch priority to kill it, so I needed to have Bullet Punch. After like a Scald, a Rock Slide, something like that from another one of my mons, Bullet Punch is an easy 2-hit KO, and he has to be at +3 to be able to 2-hit KO me with Earthquake, so that's pretty important. Hold on one second, guys. I need to turn down the brightness on my phone because my phone's about to die. 3%. Shout out to me. Anyway, the next mon on the team is actually going to be my Miltank. I'm running a Spadef Sap Sipper Miltank. Now, you might be asking, why are you running a Spadef Sap Sipper Miltank? Roserade is the biggest threat to my team. I don't think he can afford to run Life Orb. If he runs Life Orb, it's so much easier to kill. Yes, it is harder for my team to switch into, but it is so much easier to kill. After 1 layer of rocks, 1 Life Orb hit, he dies to Bullet Punch. Or after 1 rocks, 1 Life Orb hit, he dies to Knockoff. So, if he's Life Orb, it's going to be harder to switch into it, but I'll still be able to kill it. And with Sap Sipper, he cannot freely spam a Grass type move against Politoed, which is going to be my designated lead. If he tries to switch in Roserade, go for Leaf Storm, I get the boost in my attack with Sap Sipper, go for Body Slam, do about 50% to the Roserade, and I can do a lot of damage. Now, this is where I think I may change something. On the layout, I know it says Rock Slide. That is for Talonflame. Talonflame will not be switching in on this. What might switch in on this is Aggron. I have nothing to touch Aggron. Hold on, let me see how much Miltank, utility, with careful, Earthquake, Roserade, +1. Earthquake does 50 to 58%. What about to Aggron? Jesus, okay. If he's like fully Fizz Death, Impish Nature. Earthquake does 49% minimum, so yeah, I might have to have Earthquake on this thing just to hit Aggron, but Mega Aggron at +1, it only does 17 to 20 compared to Body Slam doing 7 to yeah, because this thing won't be able to take on Talonflame no matter what, because I am Spadef. And Body Slam at neutral does 33% anyway. I can get the para, play around with para hack. So I think I might actually change this to Earthquake, just so I can hit. What on earth? What on earth are you doing to me, Showdown? Why you do this? Why you do this? Earthquake. Thank you. What in the hell? Okay. I really don't understand what's going on with Showdown right now. I'll just change my Miltank spread like right in front of me. Anyway. This thing is there to switch into Roserade 100% of the time, get the attack boost, get off some good chip damage on his team to put it in range of my Zoroark, my Politoed, my Mega Scizor, or the last mod on the team, which I already mentioned, Nidoking. So obviously it's going to be Nidoking. If I can get off the crucial Earthquake damage, the crucial Body Slam damage on things like the Starmie, if it wants to come in and spin away rocks on me, I can live. Anything except for a Specs Hydro Pump in the rain, I can Body Slam it, do about 50% to it, get off a lot of freaking damage. Same thing with Roserade, instantly puts it in range of Bullet Punch or Mega Scizor. So, yes, this is not a check to Life Orb Roserade. It's not. However, it is a very, very good check to non-Life Orb, like Yachi Berry, if he's expecting Kingdra. So, I really like this Miltank. I think it'll work. It worked in all of my practice games. I really freaking like it. Let's go ahead and move on to the final mon of the team, which is going to be Nidoking. Now, I have not mentioned this at all, but Sam's speed tiers are, I don't want to say they're terrible, but they're very, very, very weird. Looking at his speed tiers, actually, hold on, he has Talonflame and Starmie at 115, then it jumps all the way down to Haxorus, which is base 97, I think, and then after that to Roserade, and then after that it jumps all the way down to like Sylveon and Lantern. So he has insane speed gaps. Nidoking falls right in the middle of that insane speed gap. Modest max speed Nidoking, I believe, outspeeds Lantern, that's timid max speed, I believe. Yep, timid max speed Lantern, along with something else that I'm forgetting. Forgetting something else. What was it? Was it Sylveon? No. Oh well. It outspeeds all of the things slower than it with Modest. Since it does that, specifically, I'm able to just be very Modest Life Orb, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt. Max speed, max special attack, 4 in HP. Very simple. 2 KOs or OKOs every single member of his wall core. OKOs every single member of his offensive team. Why is this important to you guys? You know, I don't know. However, whenever I can get in... Okay, so here's my thought process. If he doesn't have Lantern and every single time I get in Politoed I get a kill, imagine what happens whenever I get in Nidoking, which he already has no switch-ins to. He has to pick his sack every single time. If he doesn't bring Mandibuzz, then he has to bring in Talonflame to try to avoid the Earth Power. He's going to be taking Rocks damage. I have a very good check to that. I can beat that. And then after that, he has nothing to stop Earth Power. Earth Power destroys his entire team. So if I can get in one of my 2 massive offensive hole punchers, then I'll be set. And then I have my late game cleaner in Zoroark, and I also have the Mega Scizor to clean up with Bullet Punch. So this team in general, I'm hoping it just catches them so off guard. I don't have walls. Like, I have a meme Kabutops that is a wall. I have a Fizz Def Scizor, but that's not really a wall. That's like kind of a tank that can get priority. And then I have a Miltank, which is kind of a wall, but that's also a tank that can just get off really good damage and put things in range of my offense. So I'm running a very hyper offensive team this week. I'm hoping Sam doesn't expect it. Last season, he looked at my team and he said, oh crap, he has a lot of walls. How can I abuse this? And he just blew me back. This season, I want to take advantage of him. I want to take that sounds terrible, and I do not mean it that way. I want to take advantage of his speed tiers, and I want to beat him. If I can win this, we are still in the running for the title. So, we are here. I'm ready to go. I'm playing Sam tomorrow. I am so freaking excited. I love this team. I don't think I could have had a better team. My front office was saying that I needed to bring Torn T. Yes, I think that Torn T does a fantastic job this game. However, I need to take something off the team for that. I can't afford that. I can't afford to take off Politoed. I can't do it. Can't afford to take off Zoroark, Kabutops. I can't afford to take anything off. And then I need Miltank as my designated rocker because it forces out Roserade, free rocks, bam, wham, bam, wham, bam, thank you, bam. Oh, I'm so weird. I can't afford to take anything off this team, so I really don't have any room for Torn T. But I really do like this team. I also wanted to have Kingdra on this team, but again, I have nothing that I can take off. I could take off Kabutops, but then Talonflame sets up a Swords Dance and he has Flare Blitz. I lose. Even if he doesn't have Flare Blitz, I have no way of killing it. And he has Roost, I have no way of killing it. So it all comes down to what I knew I needed to do to face Sam, because Sam is somebody that I've been watching for. I watched him in the GBA D League. Like, that's how long ago I was watching him as a competitive battler. So I know how to play Sam, and I really have a feeling I have a good shot this season. So I'm really excited for it. I'm also really nervous, but this has been 26 minutes of me just rambling about this team. That is so funny. I'm so sorry, guys, but if you guys did enjoy, make sure you leave a like down below. Also, make sure you guys let me know what you think of the team down below. Also, if you haven't noticed, I'm extremely tan. Shout out to the beach. I'm so tan, except for like in my neck. I have like a lanyard tan. Anyway, make sure you guys let me know what you think of the team down below in the comment section. Let me know if you're happy with me bringing a Zoroark right after picking it up. I'm so happy. Zoroark is my favorite Mon. It's one of them, at least. Zoroark, Celebi, Togekiss have become 3 of my all-time favorite Mons of recent. So anyway, I'm done rambling. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.